the benefits come in just so many different ways. Clearly there are cutting down to the bottom line, the city runs on the taxes that it collects. There are a lot of other revenue sources, but that's an extremely important piece. The extent to which a cooperative, because of the nature of the people who are there, the way they care about it, the way they take care of it, because the fact that it can add value is good from the city's standpoint in terms of its coffers. Now, people don't like to pay taxes, but when they sell their property, they like to get that increased value. So there's that piece of it, but there are a lot of intangible things as well. If a community is very cohesive and creates, for example, a neighborhood watch group, over time, it very well may be that the demands on some of our public safety services decrease because people are watching out for their own, and the folks who want to cause problems realize that this is not a place where they ought to be, and that is a good thing. The extent to which you end up with a cooperative that has a board of directors or managing folks, they're going to be concerned about making sure that people don't do things that are going to be problematic from a fire standpoint. So that may mean less responses from that perspective. And from the city's perspective, the streets and the infrastructure in the parks are privately owned, privately operated, privately maintained. They may be tapping into city water and sewer, and so there are some bills, the remuneration and transactions that occur there. But to the extent that people are going to be concerned that they conserve water and don't use extra water because everybody's paying for it as part of that cooperative, that's a good thing from the city's perspective. We have limited resources. We want to make sure they're used as effectively as possible. And even a less direct one, but nonetheless really important, is the extent to which these are family-oriented neighborhoods. And it's extremely important from a societal standpoint that the children that are growing up in those neighborhoods have a safe, healthy, conducive environment to learn, to become young adults, and to take their role as part of in our society. And the better the neighborhood works, the healthier that particular neighborhood is, the higher the likelihood that that's going to happen. So I think not only are there some short-term benefits in terms of people may pay more taxes because the property's worth more because they take care of it and the neighborhood's a good neighborhood, but there are the long-term benefits that the city gets in terms of young people growing up to become productive members of society, less of a demand on the kinds of services that might be necessary for some folks through the welfare department, things of that sort.